Nancy Sinatra's 1967 album Sugar is her fourth record and one of the most unique albums she ever recorded. The collection of mostly 1920s and 30s songs done in a hybrid style of ragtime jazz and 1960s pop was a drastic departure from her first three albums.
Nights are long since you went away.
When Nancy Sinatra released These Boots Are Made for Walkin', it became more than a hit song. It was a cultural phenomenon. It was the kind of success that left the record label and producers hungry for more, even if that meant risking overexposure or burnout for the artist. Sugar was the fourth album recorded by Nancy in 1966, an uncanny feat considering the Beatles were recording around 2 albums a year at the time. The recording sessions for Sugar began on August 19, 1966. Nancy was recording her next single, Sugartown, at United Recorders in Los Angeles, California. The song was written by Lee Hazlewood as a commentary on the psychedelic drug scene of the mid-1960s, with many people dropping LSD on sugar cubes. Nancy's perfectly sweet vocal delivery, Lee's innuendo-laden lyrics, and Billy Strange's bubblegum arrangement create an intoxicating pop confection. Nancy was backed by her favorite session musicians, Glenn Campbell's plucky guitar line, Don Randy's prancing harpsichord, Hal Blaine's laid-back shuffle, and Oliver Mitchell's breezy trumpet line helped make Sugartown one of Nancy's most successful singles, making it to number 5 on the charts.
I got some troubles, but they won't last. I'm gonna lay right down here in the grass.
Nancy also recorded the Hazlewood-penned tracks In Our Time and Leave My Dog Alone at the same 3-hour session. Like Sugartown, In Our Time also alludes to the psychedelic era with lyrics like Some Take Trips and Never Move and Smoking Funny Cigarettes. In Our Time was issued as a single with the fuzzy novelty song Leave My Dog Alone and made it to number 46 on the charts.
Won't you leave my dog alone?
Sugartown was such a huge success that Lee Hazlewood and Reprise Records felt like there should be an album to go with it. Running short on songs, and instead of pairing Sugartown with more contemporary material like her 3 previous albums did, the decision was made to record a bunch of songs from the 1920s and 30s.
Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her, sweet, sweet Georgia Brown.
The recording sessions were held in November. Nancy and her team tracked 12 songs to be paired with Sugartown. Rhythmic ragtime banjos, muted trumpets, and silent movie-style percussion transported the songs to a bygone era. The album was part of a larger cultural revivalism of the 1920s in the 1960s. It could be heard on the new vaudeville band's old-timey pastiche, Winchester Cathedral, and seen in the Mondrian-influenced mod fashions of the mid-60s. Fashion model Twiggy's iconic eyelashes mirrored that of a flapper, and the Beatles' When I'm 64 inspired many albums of the psychedelic era to include an obligatory Roarin' 20s style track. The iconic Ron Joy cover photo of Nancy in a pink bikini, the first on an album cover, was a daring move in 1967 that helped propel the album to number 18 on the charts, Nancy's second highest charting album after Boots. It is a peculiar record that pairs one of Nancy's biggest songs with mostly 1920s compositions recorded in a contemporary Dixieland jazz pop fusion style that could have only come from the mind of producer Lee Hazlewood. Sugar may have been a vehicle to cash in on the popularity of Nancy's second best-selling single Sugartown, but it is also a forward-thinking concept album that was unique for the time and groundbreaking in hindsight. A standards album is almost a requirement for any long-standing pop artist. Lady Gaga, Linda Ronstadt, Brian Wilson, Harry Nilsson, Rod Stewart, and Paul McCartney have all reinterpreted traditional pop classics, and Nancy was one of the first.
When the little blue bird who has never said a word starts to sing spring, spring. When the little blue bell